Welcome to another David Ciboletta. In today's video, I'm driving my Sprinter to the Mercedes dealer to do the recall, which has to do with emissions. And what I want to do with this video is basically document everything that's going to be done to the vehicle. That way, you guys actually know it before you end up taking the vehicle there. So the recall is for 2010 through 2016 Mercedes Sprinter vans, and this is a 2010 Mercedes Sprinter. So let me show you something. So my Sprinter does have a check engine light on. There is no limp mode. It actually drives just fine. I believe the code is for one of the NOx sensors, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the codes before I give it to them, and we'll find out if that code still remains, because supposedly they'll be replacing the NOx sensors and reprogramming the computer. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Now, supposedly, guys, there is $3,500 settlement that they'll be paying out to all the Sprinter owners. But I think the truth of the matter is they're only paying out that to the people that, of course, do the recall and own the Sprinter for the past 2 years, which I have not owned the Sprinter for the past 2 years, this particular one. So that means most likely I'm not going to be getting any kind of money back. The only thing that's going to be performed is the recall on the Sprinter vehicle. And another thing I want to tell you guys. So who should not do the recall, or do the recall at your discretion? Now, if you had some issues in the past with your DEF system and DPF system and stuff like that, and you possibly had one of those systems deleted, obviously that is not legal to do that. So if you have that done and you take your Sprinter in, they will find that, because that's what they're doing, is they're being sued for something that Mercedes did, you know, to try to fool the system somehow when it comes to the emission standards, and supposedly the computer gives lower readings for the emission than it really is, which I don't even know how that can be. How can you fool something like that? I mean, if they're doing emissions, don't they put something in your pipe and they measure how much smog you're putting out? So I'm really not sure how all that came about, to be honest with you guys. How are they being sued for that? Now, what I could see that they could be potentially being sued for is, let's say a bunch of people had this stuff deleted from their vehicles, and then some of those vehicles was checked and they're putting out all the smog, but the DF system's there, but the computer's been reprogrammed and it no longer, I guess, does what it's supposed to. And then those vehicles were the ones that's tested, but when they look at it, they're like, okay, the PDF is here, the DF is here. Well, none of this stuff is working. The computer's programmed in such a way that it looks original by Mercedes, yet it is not performing the functionalities of what it's supposed to be doing. And then EPA got onto that. Now, I could see that happening, and if that happened, man, that sucks for Mercedes, because that is completely unfair, to be honest. So, that being said, I am not for getting rid of these systems. I am basically about fixing Sprinters. So if there is an issue with the DEF and with the PDF, then I believe that there should be, you know, somebody like me, you know, or Mercedes. But Mercedes is gonna cost you so much money. And but anyways, these systems should be repaired, not deleted, because obviously, you know, these systems are regulated by the EPA, and if you get rid of it, then, you know, you're gonna get in trouble. This is why I'm taking my Sprinter in to get all the work done. I mean, I could care less what they do to it, because there's nothing deleted on the Sprinter, and most likely when they do what they're gonna do, this will prevent any future tinkering by anybody else to try to cause the Sprinter, for the systems to be deleted. Another thing I should mention, once you do get the recall done, they're going to be monitoring. They're going to be monitoring the Sprinters for the next 5 years. I don't know how they're going to do that. Are they going to be setting up an appointments? Are they going to be somehow checking your vehicle each time you come in for service to try to find out if you have tinkered with this vehicle at all? So obviously, Mercedes is going to be paying out, when all said and done, nearly $3 billion for all this. So if they had to pay so much money, they're not messing around. So if you come in there and something was removed from your vehicle, most likely they're going to make an example out of you. Or at least they're going to be like, okay, well, how long you had the vehicle, and did you do something, blah, blah. And as for me, if there's anything done and I don't know about it on this vehicle, then, well, I haven't done anything to this vehicle. So there you go. So if they're going to tell me something, I just bought this thing. I don't know, So as far as I know, there was nothing done to this van to delete the system. I know last time it was in for service at my shop, I basically plugged up my computer and I did the regeneration for this van, and there's no soot content. So this van drives actually excellent. There's absolutely no problem. When I say you bring your vehicle in and you do have something deleted, and possibly somebody did this to your van, they will find out about it. And most likely they'll be like, we're paying this fine and doing all these recalls and it's costing us so much money and trouble. And here it is. Here's the person that got something deleted. Most likely they're going to contact the EPA or whatever department, and there's a good chance that you're going to get fined, because removing a DPF filter from it, it's the same as removing a catalytic converter, and in this case it sounds really, really, really serious. There's a good chance that you'll get in trouble. Just saying. Now if you're somebody bought the van and you don't know what's going on, I think you're going to be okay, because you don't know what's going on. But if you did have something deleted, chances are you will not be able to get anything deleted anymore once they perform this type of service. So what does this mean for all the Sprinter owners out there that possibly had the system deleted, and now they're thinking, well, what am I going to do now? Well, I'm not going to bring it in for getting this stuff done to it because I want to keep it. Well, you can't also bring your van in for service done. So that's another thing you can't do. You can't come in, to Mercedes and say, hey, replace some glow plugs, or whatever, or belts, because chances are your vehicle is going to be in there and they're going to look to see if anything was deleted, and if it was, potentially you're going to get in trouble. But most likely they will be like, oh yeah, there's something with your vehicle that was done, blah blah blah, and there's a recall going on. Would you like this to go ahead and perform the recall? They might do that. I don't know how they would react, but if it was me that was fined so much money by the PA, I don't know. It's like, first of all, that would taught me a big lesson, never to do it again. But at the same time, to try to fix the mistakes that I guess I did, which, if I would be Mercedes, that means trying to make sure that there is no loophole in the system for there, to be a possibility of anything getting deleted again, and then you being the one to blame for it. Now, I posted a video recently, and there was a lot of comments in the video, bunch of comments, and one of the comments was like, hey, yeah, Mercedes done that, blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time to believe that this is something that Mercedes did, to be honest. Sure, they've done a lot of things that does not make you happy. Like, for instance, 2010 through 2016 model, the exhaust system cost $9,000. And if there's anything wrong with your DPF filter and you want to replace it, and you take it into Mercedes, they're going to offer to replace the whole thing, like the whole exhaust system, and that's going to cost nearly, not completely, nearly $9,000. And I think that depends on where you go as well. It's the way it's been designed. So they say, hey, you know, the whole thing needs to be replaced. Guys, you might not know this, but for over 2 years now, like, time just flies. I've been servicing Sprinters for you guys, and you guys been getting in contact with me, like, through the emails and stuff like that. And I've been asked time and time again if I could, you know, delete the systems, and I always said I will not do that. There is no way I'm going to try to attempt to delete any of these systems. Sure, there's plenty of information out there for people to do it. I always did not recommend it. If somebody wanted to get something done, you know, I said, I'm not going to do it. You know, it's up to you what you want to do, but I'm not going to be doing it. And why would I do that? It's not worth it. There's already been other mechanics like sued, like Green Diesel, for instance, for deleting DDF systems from pickup trucks. And this was done, I don't know, years ago. They got sued, and I already knew about that. Like, but when you do stuff, even like removing catalytic converters from cars, that is a way to get into serious trouble. And like, why would you want to? You know, already as a mechanic, there is so much work to be done to these Sprinters that deleting this, you know, this stuff, you know, it's just so pointless. It's just not worth it. It's much better to just fix it. If your PDF filter is plugged up, try to force regenerate it. I've had customers where they come to me and this filter will not regenerate. I have to keep forcing it. There's ways to try to still force it, and it will clean itself if you run it many times. When it comes to the DF fluid, guys, the reason that one fails kind of a lot, you know, there's a couple reasons. One of them, the actual pump fails, that pumps the fluid, and it no longer pumps it correctly. Another, obviously, the sensors, they fail because calcium buildup. And another, there's like a heater that breaks on them, and then, you know, causes the fluid, I guess, to freeze in the winter time. So, and there's others, but what I'm saying is you just gotta properly diagnose those systems and clean them up and wash them out, because I also think they could be clogged. But anyways, guys, this is gonna be the end of my video. Hopefully I shared some information that helped somebody. I know it may not feel like this topic was researched, but at the same time, guys, I just want to approach it, you know, just like a regular Sprinter owner, somebody taking the van in. I mean, I know enough information to know that, hey, there is a recall. Common sense tells you why there is a recall, and common sense tells you what will be done if your vehicle has stuff deleted, and I mean, they're fixing just that. So potentially you will get in trouble. At the very least, they will fix that kind of stuff and tell you not to do it again. Maybe slap on the wrist. Maybe they, you know, you could play dumb and don't know what's going on. They'll be like, oh yeah, so we fixed that for you. You will not be able to do it again. And then next time you have some issues with your DF system or PDF, most likely you're not going to be able to get the stuff deleted, because now the loophole is no longer there. Oh yeah, that being said, I would think it'd be kind of stupid for Mercedes just to refresh the computer to original software that maybe has like a little update, you know, whatever, to prevent, you know, I guess undo what was done by somebody that reprogrammed the computer, so they simply just get it back to that same state, because most likely another loophole is going to be found. I mean, it's just like hacking the system. Eventually somebody's going to find a hack, and then it's going to be done again. It's just, it won't be for a while. But that still creates an issue. You will not be able to get service done at Mercedes probably ever again, and you'll be limited to having mechanics like me work on your vehicles, which is a good thing for me, not a good thing for you, because there's not that many mechanics out there to do it. When people come to me for service, they always tell me they went to 27 mechanics and nobody is working on their stuff. So that is an issue that is being created. I guess the good thing for you guys, if you do want to come to me, well, this year I ordered myself a shop. I'm working on getting my ground graded and everything right now, so that I could put a shop there, 44 by 31, and I could pretty much have 3 bays there with 3 sprinters in there and doing that kind of stuff. So most likely it's going to be good business for me. I mean, it has been, and this is why I'm building a shop. Initially this was not the plan to be having a shop, but since people keep bringing me their vans, I need a better place to work on them instead of work on them outside. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. See you guys in my next video.